Hey there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. If you are brand new to my channel, yay, you found me, finally. I've been waiting for you. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay, you came back. Thank you so much. My goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so that you can decide whether or not you want to spend time or money or both sometimes watching a particular film. So today, the movie I'm reviewing is called The Peasants. It is rated R and is an hour and 50 minutes long. The movie review mom grade I'm giving it is an A. I thought it was really well done, and it is not for everyone. So let me give you the scoop. First, I'll give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I liked, then things I didn't like, tips for parents, themes worth talking about, interesting lines, and recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you might also like. All right, so in a nutshell, this Polish film was based on the Nobel Prize winning novel of the same name by, cross my fingers, hopefully I can pronounce this correctly. I don't speak Polish. Władysław Raymond. Did that sound good? Convincing? The screenplay was written and directed by D.K. Welchman and Hugh Welchman. So the story is interesting, but really what makes this movie unique and really fascinating is how it's presented artistically and visually. So on to the list of things that I really liked. The film is absolutely gorgeous to look at with the painted effect. Some of the illustrations are just so stunning. So they filmed the movie with actors and then they went back and painted over each frame so it looks like a piece of art, impressionistic art, I guess you could say. It's beautiful. The cinematography is fantastic, and so many frames look like picture perfect vignettes from a European masterpiece. Truly. I'd never seen any of the actors in anything before, but I thought that they all gave outstanding performances. Camilla Urzydowska is such a beauty, and she is the star of the film, the protagonist. So I hope she's able to cross over into some Hollywood films because I thought she was that good. The film does an excellent job portraying the difficult and unfair society of peasant life decades ago. Now, there are probably people that are still living this way in small European villages, and that's one of the reasons why we love Europe. It's so charming, and it does echo to a time that we don't really have here in America anymore. But that peasant life was very difficult. Now, I don't want to give you a lot of spoilers because that will definitely ruin it. But the story is really fascinating in itself, and it shows life back in the day, but also some similar challenges that people face even today in modern society. And then another thing that I liked about the movie is that despite the hardships, it's fascinating to see how some of the characters were able to exhibit dignity. Now, on to some things that I didn't like. And really, actually, I think I only wrote one thing. I liked the ending, but I also wanted more. And I imagine that a lot of viewers are going to hope for revenge or a happy ending or something like that. It does have a little bit of an ambiguity to it in the end. There's no complete denouement, as they say in literature, no complete resolution, but in the posture of this protagonist, we can read different messages into it. And so if you've seen this movie, I would love to hear how you interpret it. Let me say that word again. How you interpret her posture and how what she does at the very end of the film. And also, I would love to know, how would you write the ending to this movie? Now, ultimately, this movie is a little leaning on the artsy fartsy side, so it won't be for everyone's taste. But I'm going to give you some recommendations for some other films that are sort of similar. And if you're like, oh, yeah, I really liked that movie, then I think that you're going to like this one. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me first give you some tips for parents. I think kids are going to be bored, but there are more important reasons why I think it's inappropriate. For example, the biggest one is we see a topless woman a couple of times and then full-on frontal nudity. So if you don't want your kids seeing that, this is not a movie for them. And again, I think also leading up to that, this just is going to seem boring to them and they'll be disinterested. It is a foreign film with English subtitles, so there's reading involved. And a lot of kids are just not interested in that as well. An unmarried couple gets intimate in a pile of hay. We see some movement. And then we also see some other moments where we know that's what was going on, but we don't witness, the act and that kind of thing. There is violence with various weapons as well as hand-to-hand combat. A man tries to rape a woman at 2 different times. And then a mob beats a woman. And so those are all unpleasant things to see. Some of the themes that are illustrated are the importance of land. Now, that's still true today, but especially back then, it was everything. And another theme is inheritance. And oftentimes that was the only thing that you could give away to inheritance or to your children, your legacy, because you didn't have many other earthly possessions, and that land had value and prestige. Other themes are marriage, agency to make your own choices, rural life, gossip and reputation, that's huge, inheritance, and toxic masculinity. Again, this is the old rural life in old Europe, and these guys are not the new modern man that's full of sensitivity and vulnerability. These are rough and tumble guys. So there are some interesting lines that I want to share with you. I always write down funny lines and interesting lines, and I have them on my written review as well at moviereviewmom.com. However, I didn't write down any funny lines. There are some semi-humorous moments, but this is definitely not a comedy. It is a drama. But there were some interesting lines that I'll share with you right now. For example, there's a character whose name is Antic. He's played by Robert Gulazik, and he is talking to a woman and he says, "You bring me to life." And I loved that line. It's so romantic, and it really epitomizes how you feel when you fall in love. Just the whole world looks differently when you're madly in love, and especially when it's new, young love, I think. And then another character says, "Love comes and goes, but land lasts forever." And this is advice from a woman who's trying to give counsel to a younger woman who's falling in love with a poor man, whereas she could marry a wealthy man, whether she loves him or not, and she'll have something. Anyway, and that was definitely a common attitude back then. We see that in arranged marriages as well, still today in some countries. Now, I want to share some recommendations for other films that I think are going to give you a better idea of what this film is all about. For example, did you ever see At Eternity's Gate? It is a beautiful film to look at and fascinating. It stars the incredible Willem Dafoe, who's such a great actor, and he portrays the life of Vincent van Gogh. What I loved about this movie is the actors acted, but then they painted over it to give an effect that they were really just painting living, moving art pieces. And so the movie looks like a Van Gogh painting, a living Van Gogh painting. And it's such a really cool effect, especially to illustrate the life of Van Gogh. Again, it's not for everyone, but it's because it's so artsy fartsy, but I just thought it was so intriguing. And that's the first film I instantly thought of as I was watching The Peasants, because it has that effect. You feel like you're looking at living artwork. Another interesting film is called 1900. That one I think has definitely flown under the radar. It's available on Amazon. And then another foreign film is called The Tree of Wooden Clogs. And that one often comes up in the top 10 or even top 5 when you're talking about artsy fartsy foreign films. So check that one out as well. All right, hopefully you find my reviews to be helpful. And if you do, please give my videos a thumbs up. And I would love to hear your comments. And if you haven't already, subscribe. That helps to spread magical YouTube fairy dust all over my channel so it can grow and more people can find my reviews. My goal, as I said earlier, is to save you time and money so you don't watch a movie and go, oh, I just lost an hour and a half or 2 hours of my life, right? So anyway, have a fantastic day and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.